the link you already gave for the live?
Yeah, on email. Why did somebody just...
No, I was just gonna, I wanted to give it to my people that wanted to be on live.
Yep. Hi, everybody. We're recording our WOW event. Say hi to those that came.
Hello.
Yay! So make sure that you have your papers from the email all handy. We're going to actually go over those. And congratulations to our 30 plus IPA achievers. And that is Chantel and Krista and Artie. Does anybody have it? Can I see your IPA sheet? Oh, good. Because I just want to go over that first because there was a lot of questions. So I thought, so we're all on the same page. And then if you have more questions, we can make sure we have this correct. So the first one is like the skincare class, group pampering. That's when you get together and do full facials on their face, not a hand facial, with 3 or more ladies at one time. When you do each one of those, that counts as 1 IPA. A facial or double facial counts as 1 IPA. So if you do 2 people at one sitting, that's 1 IPA. That was where some people were confused. Warm chatter. So if you're talking to your waitress or you're out and about and you offer your business card or the samples or whatever, and you get 2 names and number, for every 2 names and phone numbers you get 1 IPA. So let's say you get 5 today, you only get 2 IPAs. So make sure you do end on an even number, get 6, so that counts as an IPA. New booking, if you get a new facial or a new party booked to be held within your next 2 weeks, that counts as an IPA. Reorders, there were some questions about reorders. Reorders is if in one day you sell $50 or more, and it can be more than one person, then you know how we do our grand days? Well, $50 or more, that counts as an IPA, and you only get 1 IPA for that day. So if you sell $200, you don't get 4 IPAs. So for $50 or higher in one day, in reorders, not facial sales, you get 1 IPA. Sharing appointment, that's when you share information about the career opportunity, then that's an IPA. If you are okay with doing that on your own, that will count for you. And it's not just doing it at your facials or parties unless you actually sit down and go over. It's not the question game or whatever. You need to do a thorough job of sharing information and show the starter kit and tell all about that. And then a guest to a meeting, a guest to an event for every guest that you have that's over 18, you know, more than likely female. So they're people that you want to have on your team. So if a customer and her husband comes, the wife counts, the husband does not. That counts as for each guest, that counts as an IPA. New team member, just an agreement, that's an IPA. There were questions on this one, the new booking contact. So for every 5 new people that you contact, so if last month I contacted them, and I want you to keep contacting them, you should definitely do that. But if last month you contacted 5 people, you cannot contact those same 5 people. So they're new contacts. For every 5 new contacts, you get an IPA. Now, were there any questions on any of this, or does that all make a lot more sense? Is that okay? Awesome. All right, good. Now we're on the same page. So keep tracking. We did not talk about, I want you to keep tracking your IPAs. We haven't looked at a date for next time. Or a minimum, but we do want it to be the same. So whether we decide to do for 2 weeks again, or whether we decide to do for a month, we want you to average 15 IPAs a week, because that's what you want to do to be successful. See what you can do to make that happen. And then Diana's ill today, so she couldn't be here, so we didn't have a chance to discuss when the next one's going to be. We want to do it again. Our goal is to kind of go to different locations. And if you hit the 15 average a week, so like last time it was 2 for 2 weeks, you hit 30, then we're gonna have dinner. You can have dinner with the directors. We had Chinese, that was kind of fun. Okay, so let's focus on this sheet. I love this sheet. And some of you may not have any team members yet, but we're gonna go through this just so you can kind of see. And I wanna do this for August because it's only August 16th. You have this on email. So if you want to go ahead and write on this, let's fill this up so that we can practice this together. So this is August. So we're going to project the month. You may already know, if you have some team members, what they've already ordered. And I know sometimes it's hard when you have team members and you're like, how many are active or not? Because, you know, sometimes they become active and inactive, and then sometimes they activate. But what our goal as your leaders, as your coaches, is we want you to really keep a handle on that. So when the new month comes, you need to go onto your computer and check that out and see, okay, so who's an I1? Who's going to be inactive this month? Is there anything I can do to help her? You know, and you're not responsible for their success or their failure. You know, each person has to do their own thing and they're responsible. But it just helps you kind of know where you are. So this month is August. And so what would you like? So if you don't have any team members, let's pretend you get at least one. So what would you like your team to do for wholesale? What would you like your team's wholesale to be? What's a goal that you would have? So those of you that don't have any, let's pretend like you have one. So you get a new team member. What do you hope that she starts with this month? Write that down. I would say a minimum should be 600 because you want to make sure that she gets the Great Start product bundles. But you might go, well, I really think it's smarter to do 1,800, so I'm going to encourage that for her. The good news is it's 2 weeks. So we have 2 weeks till the end of the month. So that's a lot of time for them to get signed up and to get qualified. So write down what you're hoping that your team wholesale is. What do you want to do? What do you want your wholesale to do? You're here. You're on the call, whatever, you're committed. So your wholesale should be a minimum of 600 because you should be earning all of, and I love seeing everybody wearing their jewelry. You should be all wearing your jewelry and earning your jewelry every month. But maybe you're like, well, I really want to be a Diamond Star consultant. So what do you want your wholesale to be? And if that's the case, that should be 1,000. Is that right? Yeah, order 1,000 because that'd be for the month. Yeah, that would be right. And then how many new team members do you hope to get this month? What's your goal? Write that down. Okay, so let's go to the team building production. Number 1, are you active? If not, that's your goal. Get active this month. Work really hard. If you need help, that's what your coaches are for. If yes, let's go on to number 2. So if you have less than 3 active team members, so you have 0, 1, or 2 active team members, this is you. So you are going to get a 4% commission check because you're going to get a new team member if you don't have any yet, and she's going to be active. So this is going to be you for sure. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow that bold line down to the right, and under my commission, the percentage, you're going to write the number 4 in there if you have 0, 1, 2, or 2 active team members. Okay, if you have 3 to 4 active team members right now, you're a star team builder. Now, maybe that's right where you are, but that's not where you want to end. So if that is right where you are and that's like where you want to be, so with that, you need to go to number 3. And if you're a star team builder and that's your goal, or you're being a star team builder is your goal, a 3 or 4 active team member, write down what your personal wholesale projection is, and then write down what your team's wholesale projection is, and add those together. And then I love that they're doing this. If your team does less than 1,000, you're 4%, basically 1,000 to 17.
Sorry, I just wanted to see if it worked.
Hi, Shelby. I'm like, oh, somebody came on. 6%, and 1,800 or higher, it's 8%. So write down that commission. Uh-oh, somebody calling me.
Sue.
Oh, let's answer that. Hey, Sue.
Leanne, I'm driving my GPS crazy.
Are you in Riverside?
I am.
Okay.
I'm right by the fire station.
You're too far, so you need to come back. And then you're going to have to go past my house. Have you been to my house before?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can't believe I'm confused.
Yeah, you went too far. So you're going to have to go past my house, and the first right, there's farm equipment. It's like it probably will look like an alley.
Okay.
So past my house, your first right, and then your first right.
Okay.
See you soon.
Right.
Yep. So after you pass my house, it's your first right. It looks like more like an alley, and it's going to have a sign that says road closed. Does it still have that sign? Come anyway. All right. See you soon. Okay. Yay. She's on her way, as you all heard. Okay. So then if you're team leader with 5 or more active team members, and you're going to go to number 4. And then this is something for those of you that might not know this, but you want to max out your commission. So when you have 5 team members that in 1 month, they all order 225 wholesale or more, and you order 600 wholesale, that's actually how you get a 13% check. So if you do 600 and you have 4 team members that do 225 or higher, you only get a 9% commission check. So really, in order to, if you're a team leader with 5 active team members, chances are not all 5 are probably going to order this month because some ordered last month, but you probably need about 8 to 10 team members to always get a 13% commission check. Again, you're going to want to be doing a 600 wholesale. So write that in there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to look at number 5, and what is your personal team wholesale? From back above, what's your projected personal team wholesale? Not your money, just your personal team. Write that in there and take that times your percentage of the commission check. Does anybody need a calculator? And Rachel, if you didn't bring your sheet, you can just still write these numbers down by, looking on Stephanie's too, because I want you all to tell me what your commission check's going to be this month. So go ahead and do the math. And while you're doing the math, the exciting things for those of you that are not in your red jacket, for all of you non-red jackets, the first month you become a red jacket with 3 active team members, you get a $100 cash bonus. That is like amazing. And then if your team member is a new red jacket, isn't that $100 too? That's not on here. That's new.
That's this first month, I think.
So if you have a team member that gets in her red jacket, then you get a $100 bonus for helping encouraging your team to get in her red jacket. And then number 7 is awesome. For each new consultant that joins Mary Kay and she becomes Great Start qualified by doing a $600 order, then you get $50 bonus. So there are so many bonuses. Sometimes I forget how I even get paid. It's crazy, and directors even have more ways. They actually just simplified us and actually made it better, but simplified it. Okay. Who's got their commission check ready to tell me? And you might look at that and go, gosh, it's only $10. Hey, that's $10 that you didn't have before and you didn't have to work that hard for because you're already doing the facials and all of that anyway. To me, that's just fun money. Mm-hmm. Chris, did you have yours?
No, this is based off what our goal is.
Correct? Right. Okay. That's correct.
So those bonuses get counted in your commission check?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Do you have yours, Chantel?
Mm-hmm.
What's your total?
$394.
Woo! That is awesome. Yeah, that is good.
With it?
I want to get myself a new smartwatch because this one's not doing so hot.
So I don't know if you heard that, people that are listening to the recording. I want you to figure out what your commission check's going to be on your projected commission check. I want you to text your director that, and then I want you to share with her what are you planning to spend that money on. Awesome. I love that. Who else has theirs? Still doing the math? You didn't know I was making you do the math. So now you're like, oh gosh, I got to figure this out.
I prayed for clarity earlier.
Yeah. I didn't say that. I was just going through it. Do you have yours, Casey? What? 262. Yay. And what will you spend yours on?
I don't know.
And I want you guys to think about that. Dance. Yeah. Dance fees, dance shoes. Yes. I remember dance was expensive. Yes. And then you have all the little outfits. I don't know, I'm sure it's the same. When Shelby was in it, she did ballet, tap, jazz, different outfits for all. And tumbling, different outfits for all.
Shoes in one right now, but.
That's still there. It's crazy, isn't it?
Shoes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes. Rachel, do you have yours?
If I did it right, 274.
Awesome. That's awesome. And what would you spend yours on?
Probably my kids.
Okay. Awesome. Do you know what you would spend it like for them? Do you have anything in mind in particular that you want to give for them?
I'd probably spend most of it on clothes.
Okay. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
It was so funny because Shelby brought this up because I don't know if any of you remember Limited 2, probably when you were kids. But that was something that her and I always did together when she was younger, and it was in Des Moines. So we'd make a big, was it in Des Moines? It was in Des Moines.
I heard not soup.
Okay, Shelby. And then you can get her something to drink. That was kind of, what is it now? Justice? What is it?
No, it's totally.
No, I mean, it's similar to that. Isn't Justice like a clothing store? Is it for boys and girls?
I don't know about boys, but
girls. Okay. Yeah. So Limited 2 is like that. Is it called Justice? Is that, or what is it? Yeah.
And we have
hi, Sue.
sweetened tea, pink lemonade, or water with lemon.
Oh, good. Help yourself with popcorn. So I was talking about one of the things that I love shopping. That I love shopping for my kids. And so we would make a big day out of it. And so now the clothing store is called Justice. It's similar to what Limited 2 was. And she just sent me this picture because their Limited 2 stores have been closing. So we'd go to Des Moines and we'd just like, she'd go in and try on clothes. And that's what I did with a lot of my bonuses. So that's what it's important to figure out what you're going to do because it makes you work harder to do that. That was, I was always all about the kids and vacations and traveling. All right, Stephanie, do you have yours?
I have it, but I don't think I did it right.
Okay.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. If I had one team member that did 600 and I had a 4% commission, is that 24?
That's
And then you get a $50 bonus too.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's
So
correct.
74.
74. So what are your thoughts about doing that? To me, that's like free money. Like, yeah.
Probably going out to eat with my husband.
Ooh, that's fun. See, that's good. That's good. Terry, do you have yours?
Yeah, but I don't think I did mine right.
Okay. So what's your projected wholesale for the team? Or you have a new team member. What do you want? What are you thinking she's going to order?
So this is what you think your team is going to order. So between your two, that's what they're going to order?
No, I thought that's what mine was,
Nope,
and this is what they were gonna order.
Nope,
Yeah,
that's yours.
The top one is
The
hers.
top one should
Oh.
be what you're.
Oh, yeah, the top
Sue,
one.
we're doing
So
this.
then, so this should be, so that you should be up. You do have any active team members?
No.
Okay, so you should be up here. This is for
So I had it
starting.
backwards.
Well, that doesn't matter, but this is for starting or for senior consultants. So that you
Okay.
take that 750 times your 4%.
Hopefully all of you watching, or if you have questions, this is good. You can let us know because there's lots of lines and lots of numbers. So we'll help you with that. I had to look over this several times to make sure I was like following the lines right.
And then since you had two.
But I love this because like you can get excited about your checks.
Yeah,
That's what we're going
okay, but
Start
so if you're going
visualizing
with
it.
750, we'll pretend like one of them is qualified then. Because if you qualified, you have to have 600. So if they were both qualified, this should be 1200.
to get the bonus.
You see what I'm
is she's
saying?
at the
Right.
bottom.
So you would have one qualified, so that's an extra $50.
And I would say, I don't know, most people come in with a 600 or higher.
Yeah.
So I did mine as a
Which
goal
so if you
member.
Okay,
so let's
good.
say you had two
My goal is to have
and
10
then both
active
came in as
team
qualified,
members.
Okay.
this would be
And my goal
1200.
is to have them majority 600 each month, so
So
they're getting
then
free
that would
jewelry.
change.
Good,
So that'd be
good.
6,000
Okay.
right there.
Before
And then
100.
I get 13%
Oh,
because they're
yep.
already two.
Yep.
And then
And
this would be
then
100.
my
and then
commission
both
would be
qualified.
780, but then I'm going to have a new red jacket because they're doing so
Oh, yeah.
much. So I put that in, and then I had two new
Okay, so
qualified
it's
team members in that.
then
So
you're-
mine ended up being a
So
1,080.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Because I want to see myself a director, so I want
That's
to
good.
visualize.
Yes, yes, that's good. So what with the $1,000 commission, what would you do with that?
I would
Because you get
Um,
4% of whatever your
one,
team
I would
orders.
take my family on vacation.
Because you're-
Like,
Yeah.
enhance the vacations that we're doing.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, extra fun
If
stuff.
I had that money right now, I'd
Where
be,
it gets confusing
well, actually,
when you-
because I have commission money left over, we're going to
So
Beatles
the
Club, so
senior
we can do things like that.
That's good. That's what I always love spending my money on,
what
traveling.
they order.
I like food too.
No.
Traveling and food. And shopping. Artie, what do you have?
I have 394 because basically I just put
So like,
kind
let's
of where I'm
say-
at and where I
Let's say this is one
planned
qualified
in
and
the
you
month.
had one team member
so I actually plan on one of
order
my
150.
Jalen being a red jacket. So I
That's
did a
Good.
$100 bonus.
Yes.
for her.
It doesn't
Did you
matter.
add that in there
Yeah, I
too?
did. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Whether
yeah,
they're qualified
'cause I
or
plan on
whether
having
you've had them for
3
7
qualified
years,
team members,
whatever they
so that's
order, you get
18.
that 4%.
and I'm not really sure what my team's doing this month.
So that's what
So basically,
this
I've just been kind of
is
going
a
on what I have and what I
month
have projected,
when
what I want to do
just
for the
the
rest
Right.
of the
So
month.
what was your projected wholesale, team wholesale?
So the projected team wholesale for the 3 qualified was 1,800.
Okay.
So I could probably do So it'd be 1,800 and my commission would be 8%.
8%.
And then
Yeah,
no matter
and that's
what they order,
$144
that's
for
where
mine
your
without the $100.
How many new people are you
like,
getting?
next
3.
month, say this month,
So wouldn't you be team leader by then?
$200.
Yeah.
If nothing else
So it would
changes,
be-
So,
focus
and
level,
then
you get
Are
4%
5
of that
ordering
300.
or not?
No.
Okay,
only
so you'd be
have 3.
it'd be 9% then.
Yeah. So it'd be 9%. That's right.
Oh,
It'd be
yeah.
9%. Yes. So where do you? 9%. Yeah, there we are. Never
Because
mind.
if you have 5 active,
Well,
you'll be
if you have
9%.
Yeah,
6
it's
active,
9%. So I'm off.
well, then you're up here at
So
the
I-
team
I
leader
forgot about that
level.
little 9 down here, and I've read this thing like 3 or 4
But
times.
Yeah.
you-
So
Well, that's good because you need to. That's why we like to do this. So I have 162 for that.
Yes, that would be right. And then $100 for my
Your red jacket,
Right.
and then how many qualified?
Of the
3.
7.
So that's 150.
Yeah.
So 412.
Because you
412,
only
yeah.
get the 13, 5 of them ordered 225.
Oh yeah, it is. Are you
But
cold?
you get 9% because you
Want my
are-
jacket?
You can, there's blankets upstairs.
So no matter what your wholesale is, you still get that 9%. Because they're still
So I
active.
keep
What are you gonna
forgetting.
do with that
Your
$400
level is still
extra?
active, even though they
Mhm.
didn't
Take it
order
with me when I go to Montana.
that.
And when are you going to Montana?
August or September 21st.
I'm actually
Awesome.
leaving the 18th.
So what's Terry's commission?
$80.
All right. So what are you gonna do with an extra freebie $80?
Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
You're really about the shoes. You picked a watch, but everybody else should get a new pair
Yeah,
of shoes.
that's good. Do you know Terry?
You get a lot of shoes.
So I want you to think about that. So Sue, what we did is we went through and pretended you got a new team member so that you were going to do this and work this out. So I want you to make sure that you do this. And when you figure out this, I want you to text me what your commission check's going to be and what you're planning on spending that free money for. Like I really do think of that as free money. Like one of the things I would, and many of you, I talked about this, is that I took cash for both core to sales and $500,000, and cash for $500,000 was $3,750, and cash for the sales court was $500. And then I got another $1,000 bonus because as a director, if your unit does better unit club from the last year, well, I really worked hard because I wanted to do $500,000 because I wanted to have that. And many of you know Tom and I are going to Australia, but I'm making him pay for all of it because it's a Studebaker thing. Like when we do family vacations, I fund that. So I'm like, this is a Studebaker thing. So he's going to fund it.
Not fun at all.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so he's paying for all that, which is great because I usually pay for everything. And so he doesn't know this, but I've saved $4,000 of that. And I'm going to just spring it on him when we're there for food and for extra stuff. So that's going to be a surprise. But the $1,000 I donated to my church that's starting up here. And it's like, they have no idea because I didn't commit to that at all. So just think of the things that you can do with, even if it's $80, even if it's $10, like all those little things, start saving that for something fun. Try not to do your commission checks for bills unless that brings you joy. Like I know paying off debt sometimes does bring us joy, but if that truly, so I want you to think about your commission check as spending that money on something that really brings you joy. Okay. So, all right. So let's move on to these sheets. And I just want to pass this around because this is the jewelry that you're going to get this year. And so as you see the jewelry, because this is confusing. And I know Casey and I were like, I always forget when they bring it out at seminar, but anybody that debuted as of February 1st, and then you debut up to January 1st of this year, this is the jewelry you get and your wonderful director gets. So that's why I got this, because Diane debuted and she got this and I got this.
So pretty.
Isn't it so beautiful? It is. Yeah, exactly. And then this is the purse that we get. And then this is such a cute little clutch inside. And so I forget, I always do this. I leave the little retail, the little tag. They always put the tag of the value of this. So this is, the year-long quarterly prizes, the Ted Baker London, that's what this is. So that's the same person. $279 for this purse. $279. Like, I would not spend money on that, but I'll take it for free. So pass that around, because when you become a director, then you get that. And then the other thing is, there's also, if you saw on the bottom here, there's a little cross body. So when you debut, so you become a new director. So like for Diane, you become a director by January 1st, Diane gets that. So isn't that cool? So it's just another little extra
What
thing.
was your commission last
Yeah.
month for
She got
July
prizes.
with those bonuses? Did you ever
Over
add that?
7. I don't know if the 1,000 was included in that. I think it was
I'm
just,
just curious to see what all that was. 7,000.
yeah, I don't know how they do that.
3,750.
Oh, all the
5,000.
prizes?
No, just for your bonuses that you chose instead.
Oh, well, $3,750, $500, and then
That'd be
they,
over 11,000.
and that came separate
And
than my commission
$1,000
check.
comes separate.
That came in my commission check.
Okay.
So, wow. Yeah, that's cool. And then the purse that I got for $500,000 from Go Give from Mary Kay National area was like almost $400. Like I was maybe going to give that away to an offspring. I'm like, I think I'm going to keep that because that was one of my more expensive ones. Yeah, that purse that I got for $500,000 from Mary Kay National area. But I have decided I think I'm going to do that. Like, how many purses can a?
You should give them as our gifts.
Diane, when Casey gets hers, Diane gets another one of these.
I don't think they do that.
Oh, I was gonna.
I don't think no, because that's why she's getting the
She gets
crossbody.
She gets the
Yes,
little one,
yes,
doesn't she?
yes,
That's
yes,
right, which
yes.
is
That
just
it's way cute too. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to start, instead of buying Christmas presents for my offspring and my second line, I'm going to start going for my closet and just gifting that because yeah, a lot of that I don't use. Okay. Anyway, enough of this. We're going to keep moving. Pull out this sheet. Otherwise, look on your neighbors. This is the one that says track your way to the top. And this has to do with qualifications for becoming a sales director. I think it's important to go over this because like the commissions, like, did you guys learn a little bit about that and how to do that? And sometimes you think, you know, and like, and I think sometimes you don't even care. Like, it's hard to know. Yeah, I know. So it's good to know. And especially how to get your 13% commission check. Like, what if you only did 400 wholesale? Well, you could just book one more party to do 600 to get 13%. And sometimes, well, let's just look at that. What would be the difference? Let's say your team just orders 1,000. So what's the difference? 13 minus 9 is 4%. That's, oh, I could have done that in my head. That's a $40 difference. Like, I mean, that's crazy. So that's exciting. Okay. So how this is set up, this sheet, is in order to go into DIQ, you need to have 8 active team members. So that's the top part, the 8 active. So you're going to write their names down there as you have active team members. You know, and everybody has those team members that join Mary Kay just to kind of get products and aren't really doing much at all. You know, you might not even want to add them to this list because some months are active, some months are not active. I mean, if you're new and those are for all of us that have been around for a while. Like I know I have great people that order once or twice a year and that's it. But I don't want to count on them being active when I need to go into DIQ, right? And then with 8 active team members, you can submit and you can do that online by the 1st of the following month. So let's say everybody in the room, we're going to visualize a little bit. I just passed my magic wand and you all have 8 active team members by August 31st.
Mm-hmm. I was busy this month.
Chantel said she was busy this month. And so between September 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you have to go online and submit your DIQ intent. And I don't even know what that looks like because we had to do it by paper, mailing it way back in the day. So then you're in DIQ. And so then what happens is, guess what? You now count as your active team member. So now you have 9 because you count towards that. And the other thing that changed that's awesome is if you have team members who have team members. So like Artie has Jalen, who has 3 team members now. So she's going to be able to put, Artie will be 9. Jalen is already up here, but Jalen will count Tempest, Ashlyn, and Catalina. So now she's at 12. Like, look how easy that is.
In one day.
Yeah. Like, look at that. She went from 8 August 31st to 12 on September 1st. And so then let's look on the left side. So this is showing qualifications in 1, 2, or 3 months. You can do it in 4. You have to do more stuff. It's way better to do 3. Because here's the other thing is going in September, when you get new people, that's month 1 of active status. They're active for 3 months. So they're going to be active all of that time. Back in the day when we had to get to 30 active, I did it in 3 months. I pushed for that because I didn't want those people that started to be active to be inactive and then I have to start all over because 30 active was a lot of people. So all you have to end up, so like Artie's situation, she's already halfway there. She just started. So 24 active team members. It used to be that you had to have a certain amount that were qualified with the $600 order. They took that away. So then between September and whenever you finish, so let's say you do it in 2 months, September, October, your unit production, your team, your own personal wholesale production, and your team needs to be 13,500. Now here's the thing. You only get a count during the entire time that you're in DIQ. You only get a count. Wait, sorry, I went ahead of myself. In order to stay in DIQ, so you're in DIQ September, you and your team have to order 4,000 wholesale. So like, let's say it's September 30th at noon and you've got $3,900 wholesale in. You already did your 600. I don't know about you, but I'd place a $100 wholesale order to get to that. You know, like you need to look at that, have those conversations with your director, your coach. Otherwise, if you, let's say you only do 2,000, that's this person over here who's not you. And so then they have to start over October 1st. So they don't count that. And then the other thing is you max out personally during the entire qualification. So in my example, let's do it in 2 months. You can only yourself contribute 3,000. And the reason the company's doing that, they don't want you buying your way to directorship. Like, okay, I'm going to do 10,000. You know, no, we want you to earn it. So we want you to, the majority of it should come from your team. And really, well, that's just showing it's about 1,000 wholesale a month that you'll max out. And of course, you have to be active, and then you can just put down your month's production so you can track. This is a real clean cut kind of tracking sheet if you like that. Of course, we were just talking about this awesome sheet, and I think all three of us have that, the suit with the pearl buttons, Diane and Shelby and I. But I know when we went to the Team Up Tuesday, some of the other directors have the other ones. So, and then the optional dress, I actually wore that to the meeting on this last week. And then the blouses, did you guys realize the blouses designate? Oh, Stephanie, you wore the blouse. Yeah. It looks like the blouse.
JCPenney.
It's very similar. So there's 4 different blouse colors based on how many offspring directors you have. So what's your color? Is it fuchsia? Fuchsia for sales director. So you'd all start there. And then when you have an offspring director, so Pam Crone, when you come to the next Team Up Tuesday, hers is that royal blue, bright blue color. And then that's 1 or 2 offspring directors. Mine is that beautiful coral. Is that like not amazing? I love that color. That's 3 or 4 active team members. I kind of like the next color too. Offspring. That's, oh, sorry. 3 or 4, what'd I say?
Active team members.
Okay, yeah, offspring. And then 5 or more offspring directors, it's lime green, which is also a fun color. And then when you have 8 or more directors, your status is an elite executive. They don't have that on here, but then the company actually pays for and sends you the elite director's jacket. So you still wear the lime blouse. So just kind of fun. I like that. They used to do that all the time every year where they had a blouse designate what level you are. I kind of like that. And these colors are fun. Okay, so let's talk about this next sheet, plan for meeting DIQ requirements. So the reason I want to go over this, and I don't know if directorship, I don't know if that's everybody's goal or not, but I think this is really good just to be a leader. And I think that you wouldn't be here if your goal wasn't to have team members. I mean, why not have that free money, right? So this is a great information for just who you be as a leader. So let's go over this all together because I love this. So the first thing is, and of course, the commitment by being here, you know, with your IPAs and all that. But I want you to be committed to the decision of becoming whatever. So in this situation, sales director. Maybe you're like, I don't really know if I want to be a sales director because I don't want them to come to my house and I have to cook for them. Now, you don't have to do that. Like we would go to a restaurant or something. Yeah. We just came here. Yeah. Like Diane's, her house was crazy because I forget the last time that we were supposed to be at her house. So we went bowling instead. So, you know, you don't have to. So there's flexibility there. Or if you just, sometimes I think that people don't want to be director because of the stories you tell yourself, like, you know, whatever it is. So if there's any certain reason that you don't want to be a director, talk to us about that so we can, because it may be like one of the things, like when I was a consultant, one of my biggest fears, like when I started, I lived in a 2-bedroom mobile home. And you probably remember that because you knew me long enough ago. And my director had a place kind of like me where I had this space for my Mary Kay office. She had this amazing house and it was awesome. And I'm like, I I can't, where I live. I mean, I just had these things. And I think that those are your limiting beliefs. So if you have any of those limiting beliefs about whatever, that you can't be a director for whatever reason, talk to your director just to see, because we will help you with that. But whatever it is, as we're reading through this, I want you to be committed to your goal. So if it's that, like eating out, buying for your kids clothes, or whatever it is that you guys all said, vacations, whatever, I want you to commit to that. Commit to increasing your team. Commit to increasing your business. That's what this group is about. Get in high gear. So let's talk about this. If you are going to commit to being a sales director or going on target for your car, you really do have to ramp it up. You have to really ramp it up. You need to have a conversation with your family and talk to them about this. You know, my kids, like Shelby was 9 months old when I became a director.
Something like that.
Yeah, when I became a director. So she doesn't remember me not being a director. But you want to train your kids, parent your kids, so they get it. Like my kids knew if I was in my office with the door closed, unless you're bleeding or dying, you don't mess with me. I mean, and they need to learn
We wrote
boundaries.
sticky notes.
They had sticky notes. They'd come in, they wouldn't knock, they'd come in. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, if they're old enough to do that kind of stuff, but the problem that you need to be as also the mama is that if you're in there, like sometimes I'd be like, okay, you know, I'm talking on the phone, okay. And then I'd forget because I'm like doing my thing. So I'd write myself a note, like go see Shelby or whatever. So you want to make sure that if you have littles that don't understand that or can't do that, you know, what you want to do is you want to have certain things in their life, like movie time, have that be precious. So when it's mama phone time, they get movie time. Does that make sense? So that's like a treat for them. And then you set the timer. You set the timer for them, you set the timer for you, and you be on the phone for 30 minutes. If you have littles, I would say not more than 30 minutes because that's a long time to a little one. And then the other thing that I always did when I had little ones, when I would travel, like for seminar, and I never missed any events ever, is that I always would wrap up little gifts for every day I was gone. And I didn't spend money because I had like maybe a piece of gum or a package of gum, or I would print off color sheets with a little color, and my mom always babysat, and so she would every morning when they'd get up, they'd unwrap a gift for me. And it was cheap stuff. And they wanted me gone. When's your next trip? Uh-oh. I think did someone just come on? B20. Hello? Somebody might be on. Doesn't show a face, so they might have called. Okay. All right. So anyway, those are ideas. If you need other ideas, like I've done it all. I started as a newlywed. I became a director with a 9-month-old. I mean, like all that stuff. And now I'm an empty nester. So I can help you in any situation that you are in. But communicate. So if your goal is to earn your car or to be a director, you need to tell your team. You need to say what's going on, what's happening, so that they know that, because they're a big, important part of this. This is not time for slow and steady, nor is it time to take a vacation. I remember when Twyla was in DIQ, and I think she had to go through DIQ twice, and she went on vacation, or maybe she didn't, I can't remember. But all I remember is she went on vacation, and I, in my head, was thinking, I wouldn't do that during DIQ. But I didn't tell her because she already had it planned and family-oriented. She's very family-oriented. After she got all through that, she said, that was dumb. I would never do that again. So, you know, you need to just be strategic. That's why do it fast. Get in and get out. Get in and get out. But like we've talked a lot about being a director, you will 3 times triple your commission check. So take whatever you just told me times 3, doing the same activity that just by being a director with all the bonuses and extra commissions that we get. So just know that. So this is the time to merge with your DIQ team. Lead by example. How you ask, motivate them to set goals, educate and empower them to use the tools offered to them by the company, recognizing them for their hard work, effort, guide them to the next level. So what you want to do is talk to them about their sales. Well, what are you going to do when you start making some money with Mary Kay? What are some things you want? So like what we've talked about, just remember what your director talks to you about. You want to talk to your team about that to get them excited. Empower them. Make sure that you talk to them about in touch. And you might think that you're repeating it, that maybe you're the type of personality that you find things and you figure it out and you're on in touch. So I have a consultant that's been in for 6 months and she didn't even realize about the MKU. And I'm like, okay, I know that was in my first email that I sent. And, but it doesn't hurt to repeat things, because I think I heard that you have to hear something 7 times before it actually sinks in. And when you're new, we all remember when it's new, it's a little overwhelming. So you want to just keep talking to them. And then also, instead of answering a question for them, tell them where to find it. So like a lot of times I'll have people text me about this, and I'll just say, well, go onto my UnitNet website or go on to Mary Kay in Touch, so that you're empowering them. Don't enable them by giving them all the answers, but empower them. Hello?
Get out.
Who's on? Who's on? This is Leanne. Who is on?
I don't know how to talk to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Who is this?
Oh, Dawn. I think you can hear
hi,
my
Dawn.
TV
Everybody
too.
says hi. I think she just muted herself. Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could hear me talking. So did you hear me screaming a minute ago?
Yeah, we did. It's okay. We're okay. We all have had kids or around kids. So, but yeah, if you need to, you can mute yourself and just listen in, and then that would be great. Welcome. We're excited. Okay. So what we're going over, Dawn, is we're going over this sheet about planning for DIQ. And just always like, what's the next step? Like once they get a new team member, then you want to get them excited about getting their red jacket. So like, don't let Mary Kay always said this. I remember hearing her say this, don't rest on your laurels. Like, okay, before you finish that goal, okay, what's your next step? And you want to get them to the next level so they keep moving fast, and just encouraging them. Once you decide to go into DIQ, so let's use September 1st that you're all going to go into DIQ, because we did that magical wand and you're all at 8 active. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that you want to do probably within the first week of the month, so the first week of September, is you want to do like a kickoff potluck dinner with your team. And so that you can, and then the senior director tries to come too, and we talk about it, we plan it, so that you can get them excited, so they understand this is important, this is a big deal, and all of that. And so that kind of talks about that. Put up a goal poster. In fact, you all need to have this up. You need to plaster your house with your goals everywhere. And you need to have a positive affirmation. And here's an example of this, and you can use this for whatever. But I am the soon-to-be sales director and successful leader of the future Cadillac unit. I love growing my unit. So just say that. I remember Shelby would always write it like a million times. I don't know how many times you did it every morning, but like probably 15 times she would write out her affirmation. And Mary Kay always taught us that, writing it down was like really important to putting that in your memory. And then I love this. This is, I think, very important. Schedule a daily quiet time. And if mornings are crazy for you, try to get up like 15 minutes earlier. Or maybe your daily quiet time will be before you go to bed. That's okay too. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning. You have to work around what's best for you. Listening to motivational podcasts or audios or YouTube or whatever, read something motivational every day. Like while you're getting ready, what I love is like when I'm listening to stuff like that, especially if you have kids around, they're hearing it. And what they're learning is amazing through that. Check your organizational and time management skills. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have to be like detail oriented. I think I used to scare my offspring that are offspring now because of all my detail orientedness. Like I was like perfectionistic, like that was not a good thing. That like if you're perfection, how many of you are perfectionists? Anybody here? Like sometimes that's a bad thing. So because we act like we have it all together, and like sometimes we just don't, but we just pretend like we do. But I want you to know that don't be afraid of, because like you all have skills. Like when you are at the Team Up Tuesdays, or if those of you who went to seminar, you see everybody's different. We're all different. So we need every single one of you in the leadership position. So that is what I love. But it's important to be a little bit organized and have some good time management. So like those of us that are, we can give you some ideas. But what I always try to do is anytime I'm doing anything, I ask myself, do I need to be doing this? And when I had kids at home when they were 5 or older, cleaning mirrors and trays, no, they did. Like have them do that. Yeah. What'd you say? Stickers. That's good.
Everyone asked me today, when are we putting stickers on?
Yes. Isn't that? So it's like a family business. Like they feel a part of it. It's not just your thing off to the side. I love that. That's awesome. Do that. Yes, yes, yes. Stay away from negative people. So I definitely want to talk about that no matter what your goal is in Mary Kay, because y'all know energy zappers. Like you just feel like they've sucked the life out of you. And I want you to know it could be a family member, could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be a grandparent or a parent, it could be another sister Mary Kay consultant or a sister sales director. Like none of us are perfect. One of the reasons I actually like to room with directors at seminar is that I get worn out. And I feel like mine at seminar, I need to be like motivating you and there for you. So when I leave my hotel door, I'm on. And that's exhausting. Have you ever been in that situation? Like when you're with your team members, like you have to be on, or if you're around your kids, or if you're on a field trip with little kids, you really need to be good as a good mom and a chaperone. You get worn out. So so you want to make sure that you want it to be around positive people. So sometimes you might think that this person you look up to in Mary Kay, and then you're around that person and they like drain you. They're like negative. They complain all the time. Run away. And if you are in a work environment, this is the best tip. I remember back in the day when I was a counselor, it was around the copy machine. There'd be that negative. Do y'all have a place at work? Does that happen still? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm like, okay, it was been a long time since I've been out in the work world. But what you do when someone starts to talk negatively about someone, you know it's coming. Do y'all know it's coming? Like they'll go, oh, did you want to, I got to tell you about Artie. Now, what's going to come out next? Now, or if I said, oh, I got to tell you about Artie. Like you can tell what's coming next, right? There's two different ways. And that's exactly what you say, no matter what they say. Oh, I love her. You know, you want to, if you say something back about that person, and I give you permission, like if it's another, like it could be, so you might have a power partner of each of you, and none of us are perfect. I have down days too, where I just like blow up and be a crazy person. Like we all do that. I try to keep that in here in my home. You know, my husband gets the brunt of it, but that's why we're still married. Actually, today's our anniversary and her anniversary, 32 years, 5 years, parent 61. But anyway, it's, yeah, it is all of us. Yes. And Tom's parents in heaven. But anyway, so you just, what you want to do is you want to run away. And if it's another Mary Kay person, I give you permission to turn your back and walk away. Say, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go. If it's a buddy, and like sometimes you're like a buddy and you're power partners and you think you're doing good, but you start to go down, oh, this happened to me. Like if you're going to talk about and keep going, I give you permission to hang up on the other person. Okay? Do that. All right. Enough said. Enough said. Stay away from negative people. I want you all to focus on this. This would be a great thing to focus on. Shooting for a minimum of 3 + 3 + 3 per week. 3 skincare classes, parties, 3 team building appointments, sharing appointments, that can be guest to events, and $300 in new sales, not counting reorders. That was when I was coming up. That is when they said, you want to be a director? You want to win your car? All right, 3 + 3 + 3. So I have to book 5 appointments. And so I did this mentally. I had this mental game. I would book 2 and go, okay, I just booked the 2 that are going to fall off. Now I got to book the 3 that are going to hold. Because here's what we do. And I am the same way. I'll book 1 and go, yeah, I've got 1 booked next week. And then I go on for the next week, the week after. And then they both fall off. So what you need to do is I got to book a lot in a short period of time, but overbook. You need to book twice as many as you want to hold. Okay. Encourage your DIQ unit to team build with you. We talked about this already, just getting them excited about getting in their red jacket. And you kind of want to know, like you want to know that if they get it, when they get in their red jacket, they get their red jacket for, is it $50 off? Half price, $50 off, and they get a $100 bonus. Like y'all need to know that to tell them. You kind of need to have an idea of the great start kind of in your head, especially those, you know, so just, you know, I think that's a process that you'll get to know that. What I do is anytime I have a new team member, so like Artie gets a new team member, I say, hey, Artie, I'm going to do her new consultant training, call her in person on this date. You want to listen? You want to be there? So that they can listen to me share that, because eventually it's usually somewhere between DIQ and becoming a director. You're totally doing that on your own. So you want to be really versed in that. Be an abundant thinker, shoot for 50 qualified team members. If things aren't going well, I love this advice, book a class, book a party. That changes everything. Mary Kay once said a booking a day takes the blues away, or simply call your director and talk to her. I always say reach up. Don't talk to another person. Don't especially talk to your team members about anything negative. So you need to go up. Well, and that's at the end there. Never complain to any of your team members. I kind of said that. Help your team members be recruit minded for day one. The thing that's the best thing about the Great Start is the team building bundles. They get to earn products when they get new qualified team members. So that's exciting. I love this idea. Well, help them book 10 parties within 10 days and tell them they need to understand that about half will hold. So if they book 10, they'll hold 5 or 6 so that they understand that that's just the way it is. They think they're terrible and they're a failure and all of that. I had a new consultant that she's like the newest consultant at our events right now. And she saw what you were doing and she just kind of felt like she wasn't up to par. And I said, no, you don't understand. You just got all your pearls and you're amazing. But she's comparing herself to the rest of you. And it's like, that's kind of like apples and oranges. So you got to help them and just tell them how great they are and tell them specifically why they're great. That's important too. Always carry the senior consultant pin with you. What I also love is when you're with your new team members, wear your pearls of sharing. If you didn't earn your pearls of sharing, ask your director how you can do that because July is over. We just did that. You want to have your complete set of pearls. You could even, if you don't still have your senior consultant pin, you can buy one from your director if you want to. Okay, I think that's good. ABCs, make 3-minute comments. And it doesn't hurt to touch base with your new consultants. You could even call them and just talk to them for a little bit too. Encouraging them to increase their customer base. All right, go to the next sheet, which is weekly DIQ activity tracking. This sheet here. This is just a great thing. Like if you truly want to be a sales director, this is kind of like the IPAs. And if this doesn't flip your boat, whatever, float your boat, whatever, you don't have to do it. But it's like I'm committed to 6 new bookings, 4 to 6 guest events, and 6 selling $600 retail. So the problems with the IPAs is you could do absolutely nothing but make new contacts and get your 30 IPAs, you know, and I mean, that's great because that's going to come, but well, you did more than that. Why are you laughing?
Because I got most of them through
Yeah,
I ended up doing 88 IPAs
Wow.
after counting them all.
Wow.
But, I counted them, like what I did, just the contacts, and what I did the others, it was 28 others, and the rest were the contacts.
Yeah, but you did all the others too,
Because that
which is
came.
which is good.
That's how you get the other.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So that's good.
But it's just funny because it's like if you just do the contacts, I can do the contacts and not get anything.
Yeah, because
But it's like
it would be would it be like 150? It'd be 150 No, I did the math wrong. What is it? 5 times 5, 20.
I did about. I got
1 per 5.
Yeah, it was 1 for 5. I did about a full like tally, so 5 per day is what.
So it'd be 150.
Yeah.
You could do 150
Yeah.
contacts and get 30 IPAs if
Yeah.
I did the math right. Yeah. So I mean, but the others should come.
Yes.
So that's cool that you did both because that's really good. But this is great because are you getting 6 new bookings? Now there are only 5 lines here, so whoever created this kind of missed a line. I don't know if you noticed that, but I noticed that because that's the detail-oriented personality in me. I know, I'm like, wait. So yeah, you have to put one by the name, I guess, or underneath there. 4 to 6 guests to events, sharing the opportunity. I mean, this is just a great. And then on the right-hand side, choose how to create a $300 week. So there's just different ideas. And I think that's the thing that I liked. Stacy shared like one tip at seminar on Wednesday, and it was, where are you getting your names? Getting from all sorts of different sources is another good thing too. So anyway, let's talk about the car. I would love to see all of you focus more on the car than directorship, to be honest, because it actually is a little bit more challenging to earn the car than it is to become a director. That's why there's a lot of directors that are not driving cars. But I want to have everybody driving a car, and why not have a car or $450 or $425 in cash instead? So this is great because it shows each level. So team number 1, I'm a senior consultant. Team number 2, then I'm a star team builder. So and this is actually the cruise. So it's not the,
It looked like very similar.
yeah. So the description here could be different. I don't know what the Malibu is, but it's good because it does show at the top how you get on target. So in order to be on target for your car, you need to have at least 5 active team members, and your order and your team's order that month needs to be 5,000 wholesale. And of course you need to be active. To get the car, you need to get to 23,000 wholesale and have 16 active team members. So here's the deal. The deal is, it's for the car, it's like more production and less active team members than it is for directorship. So the production's a little trickier with the car.
So these also have to be personal team members, not
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Yep. Oh, the other thing, I didn't say that, but it doesn't. So here's the other thing is when you get into DIQ, so September 1st, Artie's in DIQ. So she gets Jalen, who's on her team, and then she gets Tempest. So Tempest already has 2 team members, but that would be third line. They're going to stay in my unit. But once Artie's in DIQ, Tempest, her team members then count, 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever. While she's in DIQ, all the lines that you take with you count as your team members. I did not say that, so that's important to say. So there just kind of tracks that. So, and then the last sheet that I wanted to go over.
Question.
Yes.
If you are in DIQ and have been doing this qualification, and you have 16 because you're in DIQ with those team members, do those count in the production because you're in DIQ?
No.
Okay.
You still
So then
you still have to track
the 2 different
However,
productions.
help me
Sometimes
with
it's
this.
easier just to track.
But
the
you
unit.
can track director.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is a little
Oh,
complicated, but so the car is personal, DIQ can be first and second line and then whatever, but in DIQ, there's also a way to do director. You can earn your car as a director. What's a Chevy, what's the cruise level for production for, do you know? It's in 6 months too.
Is it 6,000?
So, okay, so let's do this. All right. No, it started August. August? Did it start July, August, September? Okay, so director cars is quarterly.
Minus 95 and get the Equinox.
Yeah, it's kind of
Might as well
confusing.
just-
Yeah, exactly. So it's, but you can actually do unit
I think
too.
it's
And but it's
42.
6 months. So like if you're in DIQ September, if you're tracking the director and you can talk to the
7,000
car,
for
7,000 a
Malibu.
month for the Malibu as a director. So this can be 1 to 4 months. So it can be 1 to 4 months. You can do it all in 1 month. So 7,000 times 3 is 21,000. So it's about the same,
So it's
I guess.
23,000.
Yeah. So I bet it's about the same-ish, probably. But you get to count your unit then. So you can choose to do it that way too. I would say just track it this way, and then you and your director can talk to Mary Kay Corporate after you've like been in DIQ 2 months, and then you can see where you're at, and they can say, well, we'll let you do the
What to
director car
recommend.
because you've already done it or you're almost there.
Yeah, but for the DIQ for the team members, it can be like so like say Artie's on my team and I get her team members, but for the cruise, it has to be all my personal.
Right. Unless you
So-
choose during DIQ, you can opt to do the director way to earn the car, and then it would be your unit.
Got it.
So what they've done historically is if a director, a lot of times before they did the second line, mostly you recruited your own to be a director, like usually. Well, now you can do second line and you can go in stronger. So I think it'll be interesting to see if they do any changes with the car program with that. I don't know, but you can either go personal or you can go, look, we've got all of this happening and we're already almost to Equinox. They can count
So
your
that's what
DIQ.
you're talking about when you're talking director car. You're going past the Malibu and into
Or it could be the
Equinox.
Malibu.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can do it
Okay.
director qualifications, which means that you're taking your
You
second
get
line,
second,
third line, fourth
okay,
line,
okay.
whatever.
All right.
And if you have a big personal team, then you want to track it consultant way, which is what this sheet is. But if you've got lots like you, I think that you'll probably be able to get it unit wise. But I would say
Well,
once
then
you get,
your qualified gives you an extra 6.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
as a consultant does it?
I don't know, for director.
Yeah. So I don't think it does. Yeah. So when you are a director, when you do get a new team member personally and she orders 600, that actually bumps you up 600 more points towards your car too. So focus on this. Don't worry about that. And just 3 plus 3 plus 3. If you just focus on 3 plus 3 plus 3, doing your 30 IPA, 15 IPAs a week, everything is good. Everything is good. All right. Last sheet that we want to go over now that your head is spinning The dogs. Yeah, I know. So we have like, it's supposed to be is Leo out there?
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's Colin's dog. So now we have 3. The worst part is the husky, which is really a Malamute. When it's night, this is where I do my parties, and I always forget to tell people, look, there's dogs back there, and so sometimes the light will like reflect in those light blue eyes, and I had somebody go, and I'm like, oh gosh, I forgot to tell you about the dog. So yeah. Okay, so this is a fun. I love this sheet. I love how to go on target and stay on target for your grand achiever. So I love on the right hand side, you have to get up every morning and tell yourself, I can do this. I would say the hardest part about this business is the 6 inches between your ears. It's the thoughts. It's what you tell yourself. And it's the stories we create. And you just have to battle that. You have to fight that. That's why I don't like to watch the news. I don't like to listen to the news in the morning because it's depressing. And
like, yes. Mary Kay Ash didn't have this when she started, but this was her whole theme. Like, a lot of her quotes are about your attitude and everything and what you believe you can achieve. But now the research is backing that your brain will actually wire certain ways to make yourself believe it. And it starts to like come because of like your mental status. And so all these like neurologists and scientists are like, they see the growth in your brain of all of, I don't know, all the scientific stuff, but it's like amazing.
Yeah, Bonnie Eckhoff, director from Cedar Rapids, she got me onto Dr. Carolyn Leaf, who is a neurosurgeon, and she did research, and she did this research study where people, she watched the synapses in the brain, and they were, and I don't know for how long, I forget, but they were fed negative, and the others positive, and they could see that part of their brain synapses it was like black. It like started to die. And the others were like bright green or blue or whatever. Isn't that scary? So it's another thing. Think about what you tell your children. What are they around all the time? You know, we need to be talking positive things. So you just listen to those podcasts. Let your kiddos hear that and feed that. So we have to really fight that because, you know, and think about just in your life when somebody says something negative to you and then you start pondering it. And I will tell you, the higher you go in this business, the more negative people that are going to start to come in because there's people that are jealous maybe of you and not necessarily Mary Kay people or envious of you or whatever, but just like famous people, the higher you go, the more people are going to attack you, you know, and criticize you. So you have to really, but I mean, that's what we do as directors. We have like, I studied and trained and listened to podcasts and reading books to just fight that because that's huge.
I posted one in our group this morning that she was, I think, interviewing a like brain scientist or something like that, and it was really. Yeah,
I was going to listen to that. I'll post that on ours too.
I tried to listen to that on the way here, but I kept cutting out because I'm like, well, it takes me an hour to get here close. I kept cutting out. So.
Yeah, you probably hit the dead zones.
In Cedar Rapids.
It doesn't make any difference. There's a lot between here and Iowa City.
So let's look at this sheet. Number 1, attitude. Attitude. Stay positive and fake it. Tell yourself great things. You know, tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am skinny. I eat healthy. I love to exercise. I mean, whatever you need to tell yourself. I'm a great booker. Before I start making booking contacts, I said, God, lead me the people that you want me to be blessing. You know, I start praying now more than ever, like, and before I make my contacts. Don't let yourself believe for 1 minute that you aren't going to earn the car. There is nothing different from you or me. Except I've had more no's than you all have. So work on those no's. That's the only difference. You can have 16 Mary Kay cars. You can be a national sales director before I'm a national sales director. You just have to work on getting more no's. How do you get more no's? You have to make more contacts. Think about how much fun it's going to be to drive up to your job where they call you Miss Mary Kay in your new car, or whoever is negative against you or have said whatever. So whatever it is to help you with that. Number 2, tell everybody you know that you will be driving a career car. So that's what I want you to say. Because what happens when you tell people you're Mary Kay? Oh, do you have that pink Cadillac? Have people ever said that to you?
Yeah, actually.
And what you want to say, no, but I'm earning my Chevy Malibu. I still have a hard time with that. Because I'm like, Cruise was easy, and then she as a kid had an Impala, so I have to go through Chevy Cruise, Impala, Malibu. It takes me 3 times. So tell people that you're earning your car, that you are earning your car. I want you to say that, yes. tell your friends, tell everybody, because the more people you tell, the more they're going to say, when are you getting that car? I'm working on it. Every face I do helps me get closer. And number 3, look at that car a million times a day. Keep pictures of the car everywhere. Put one in the bathroom, across from the toilet, one on the mirror where you put your makeup on, 1 or 2 on the fridge, on your dashboard, in your date book, at your job, in your bedroom, wherever, all over the place. Out of sight, out of mind, don't let that happen.
More than that, I think if you see that, but then you take time where you like take a few minutes to actually visualize like picking up the car or driving around in it, or like, you know, what your day would look like with contacts, with getting like, maybe you pull up your phone and you have 5 agreements in your email, or your $1,000 parties that you have every week, or whatever, like the process to get that. So I think those like are like, okay, I just saw my car that I have hung up on the door. So I'm gonna take a few minutes and just like visualize all that, and then feel the feels too.
The other thing that somebody said that I thought was interesting, because I visualized myself over and over as a national sales director on stage at my debut, but until somebody told me this, is where are you at? Where do you see that? Are you sitting in the audience looking out, or looking on stage? So if you went to seminar and you want to cross stage, where are you at? You need to be on stage looking at the audience. And so that was like, oh, I was like looking at myself on stage. So I wasn't feeling it. So I want you to experience, I'm actually on stage for national court, whatever, debuting as a director. So make sure that you're visualizing yourself walking across stage, looking out, and you can't see because there's so many lights. So you're just like waving it. I don't think my unit's over there. Oh no, they were over here. Oh, well, whatever. You know, just like that's important. So the other thing that you want to do is number 4, set a goal for always doing at least 5,000 production. Team production. I think that's the goal that I want you to shoot for, whether you have 1 team member or 20 team members. And then once you start hitting that, and now the company just did a little thing with our production, and now we want, as directors, we actually want to hit 5,500 because you get like major bonuses there. But for you guys right now, shoot for 5,000. Don't think, okay, car minimum is 4,000. Don't think minimums, think 5,000. Number 5, be willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. You'll probably never order more inventory than in car production because you're holding so many parties and you're selling so much product. Build your inventory, sell it, make the money through sales to make car production. So you're going to be a selling machine. So I love what you just said. There's a whole visualizing, their whole feeling, the whole process of all of that. That's important. And track your progress. Either devise a tracking system of your own or use the one that your director gives you. Any of these sheets or any IPA sheets, that you're doing, I think that's really important. Whatever helps you. I love this track your paycheck for you guys. I think this is awesome. And every month. So what you want to do is on September 1st, think about what do you want to have happen? Okay, so I want to get 3 new team members. Okay, so what does that mean? So 3 new team members is usually if you talk to 5 people, you'll get 1 team member. So I need to do 15 sharing appointments. Where am I going to find those 15 people? I need to do 30 faces, and then I need to share with half of them. So see, that's kind of the process that we all go through.
And you can even look back on and touch to see what your team, like what their habits are. So you can know when they're going to probably about order.
Oh, that's good.
So you can kind of see what your minimum for the ones that maybe aren't super, super active. So like, okay, they usually do, 1,000. So I can also add in like 1,000 to that.
That's good. And 7, don't forget that you need 16 active team members. We talked about that. Don't give up. Stay on target for your car is going to require work and focus. There will be days when you want to say, forget this. It's not worth it. My car is okay. You may be disappointed because a team member said she was ordering 600 at the beginning of the month. And now she only orders 225. You want to have one evening of peace and watch TV, maybe instead of calling recruits and potential recruits or holding a facial and skincare class or whatever. But don't give up. Keep your eye on the price. A career car for $425 a month. Don't let anything or anyone stop you. So I've always been a work and then reward myself. I love Netflix. I love watching movies. I love watching TV shows. So when I hit my bookings, the contacts that I want to make, then I reward myself with that. So, but what you need to really focus on, we have so many possibilities of distraction. How much are you eyes on social media? Like, it's like, are you a gamer? Do you play games on social media or whatever? Like, I reward myself for those little things that I won't like to do, but you have to work first. So make sure that you do that. Earning the use of a company car will be unbelievable, and the sense of accomplishment when you pick it up will feel amazing. You will do what others want to do but won't, and you will be one step closer to directorship. Actually, by earning your car, you'll become a director in the process, even if you don't want to. You don't have to, but triple your income, why not, right? Any questions about any of that or anything else that you can think of that you'd like to ask? And if you're watching this recorded, text your director any questions you have and we can help you with that. For now, what we'll do is I want you all to keep tracking your IPAs, averaging 15 every single week. We're going to discuss when we'll do our next thing, and we'll probably do something similar.
Do a husband's thing, maybe.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. That'd be good to have guys come or significant others to understand more of this, or if they have questions. Like if there's anything that you guys want to do or want ideas or any sort of specific training, and if you're on this recorded, let us know, because we will do whatever. We want this to be for you to help you be successful. We want lots of directors and car drivers popping out of here. Mary Kay will go, what the heck is happening in Iowa? Mm-hmm. And then they'll bring Career Conference maybe back to Iowa. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have a close to share? Oh, yeah. We have new hard copies of IPA sheets. Yeah. If you guys want some. I'm taking one because I can't print mine, so I can at least make copies. I'm going to turn to you.
Okay, so this is a little calendar that has like quotes for Mary Kay Ash, and it's so fun. I love it. So I have two. One, just make sure the right one, from the 14th and one from the yesterday. So this first one's people management. There are two types of people in this world: doers and those that do nothing. Busy people who appear to have more than they can do are the ones who come through when something important has to be done. And this other one is on sales. Success requires competition, but a successful salesperson knows that the competition is not with someone else. It is with herself. It is a quick start in the morning when it would feel good to lie in bed another hour. In short, success is the result of a lot of hard work. It's forming the attitudes and habits of a successful salesperson and paying the price of success that makes you a winner. I thought those are so good with just what we talked about and like some of those qualities it takes to move up and grow your business super, super strong. So, yeah.
I'll stop recording.